This is an excerpt from Chapter 6 of 14 Stones. On the first day of the apple harvest, during the midday meal, Rebus took his mother aside in the old farmhouse. He told her that he'd looked into his brother's mind, the way she'd wanted him to. He told her about the net of fierce, destructive anger he'd found there, the danger he'd hoped never to see. Grief and fear shadowed her face so briefly that anyone else might have missed them, but so clear to him that he wanted to put his arms around her the way he had as a little boy when his father's violence had left her aching and terrified. Then she lifted her chin and wrapped her hard-won strength around her like a coat against bad weather. "Can you help him?" she asked. The two of them had left the kitchen where the rest of the apple harvesters were eating a quick midday meal. They'd taken their plates of bread, sliced apples, and thick nut butter to the farmhouse's front room. Standing up made eating more awkward, but they didn't sit down by the hearth. Neither of them, Rebus knew, wanted to call up certain memories in the middle of this new trouble. "I don't know if I can help," he admitted. He hated to say it. "If you tried, would it hurt you?" His gift might let him do something, but it would probably need more strength than his weak heart could stand. When it took too much, it left him dizzy and sick. Sometimes it made him so weak he fainted. Mama had made him promise a long time ago not to risk himself more than he had to. Mariut had asked for the same promise again when she married him. He couldn't always keep his word, but he tried. "Yes," he said, "I think it would." Put simple words to trouble. Mama had taught him that a long time ago. She'd said she had let Silvus hide his own trouble, the family's trouble, for too long. Don't let it sit in the dark. Look it in the face, and then you can see what to do. He said, "But Gadri's in a trap, Mama. What's happening to him, I'm sure it's the same thing that..." Even now, so many years after his father's death, he never used the word da to mean Silvus. That word meant things like love and protection and safety. Mama heard the rest of his thought. "But why is it happening to Gadri?" Her steady eyes searched his face. "With your father, I thought Sostavi might have done something. Whatever happened to him there, but Gadri's never had a disappointment like that, has he?" Silvus had been disappointed in his career. Whatever happened to him in Sostavi, Rebus had never known what that was or why his father had abandoned his apparently successful work as a priest to come back to lead a village and help Mama grow apples. And he must have been successful, or he'd never have served in the Great Circle House. "No," Rebus said. "Gadri's happy with the farm. He loves his family. He would have staked his own life on that." "That's what I thought." "His mind is doing something." Had Silvus's mind done the same thing? Had Sostavi pushed him along, or would it have happened anyway? Useless questions Rebus couldn't help asking himself. "Something is changing in him. I think it's happening on its own." Again, a flash of sadness in Mama's face. She hid it, biting into a slice of apple and chewing thoughtfully, but he knew how helpless she must feel. He felt it too. She swallowed the apple. "I don't want you to risk yourself." That wasn't right. The gift was all he had to offer. "Mama, if I can do anything, cut the net even a little, it would help him. No, Ribe." She put her free hand on his arm. "If you get sick, you can't help anyone. Gadri would tell you the same." The look she gave him took him straight back to those first weeks after Silvus's death, after Rebus himself had finally gotten over the worst of his fever. He and Mama had been survivors together, wounded and limping, struggling to shape something like a better life out of the wreckage. Every hour of every day, he'd pushed himself to be the right hand his mother needed. When she knew he was pushing too hard, and she always did, no matter how he tried to hide it, she had given him exactly the look she was giving him now. "Enough, my dove." She was right, of course. At its worst, his heart could leave him bedridden for days, no use to anybody. "All right," he said. He didn't have to tell her how much he didn't like it. "But I'll watch him. If there's any chance to help, I will."